why your wife brings up the past, and I for sure it's not what you think. Okay, and I'll have you relate to this. Like, have you ever noticed that no matter how long ago it happened, like your wife is able to bring up situations, circumstances, people, events to the T. Okay. Not only she can actually do that, but she can like describe it, what happened and who did what and where things happened, where things were, what color of clothes XYZ was wearing, or what XYZ said at that event. And most of the time, I mean, I'll speak for myself, but I think most men can relate. Most of the time, there are things like you don't even remember. You have no idea what she's talking about. You have no recollection of that happening, or at least maybe high level, but nothing close to the degree. Like you might not even remember the high level stuff. Never mind the who said what or what color. Now, how can she do that? Like, does she have magic powers, or why is that actually? Why is the feminine capable of that, and why is the masculine not so much? Right. So let's look at that. Let's explore. Okay. And first reason is that emotions are ingrained with the memory. So your wife is really good at this because it's not really the memory that she remembers. It's the emotion. She remembers the situation, the person, the circumstance, the event, or whatever the memory is about, because she remembers how it made her feel. Okay. When the feminine remembers the feeling, then anything and everything that made her feel that way will come back in an instant. Okay. Now, this goes for happy feelings and it goes for negative feelings. Okay? Works both ways. Okay. Because those feelings being felt again, like her memories start to rush back right away. It brings everything back exactly the way it happened. Okay. Now, um, you bring out the same, you bring out the same emotion, right? So the way this applies to your marriage is that when your wife is pissed off at you or happy with you, you've gone out to a great date night, or you had an argument, right? Or she's bringing stuff up from the past. It's because you are making her feel a certain way, and in that moment, all of the things that made her feel the similar way, whether it was regarding you or not, will come back. Let's say you're on a great date night and you make her feel a certain way. And then she starts talking about a date night that you had 15 years ago. And she writes down exactly what happened, where you were, all of that. Or you're in an argument and she brings up something that you did 10 years ago that you don't even recall anymore. And she seems to describe it exactly the way it happened. You can't even argue with her because she sounds so convincing and so accurate, right? These are examples, right? Um, Now, when she's happy, that's awesome, great, right? You don't care much or even pay much attention to this, that she's bringing stuff up from the past. But when she's pissed, when she brings stuff up from the past and it is frustrating for you, you have to be able to deal with that somehow. You cannot just let the frustration, get the better of you, because it's not going to stop. This will keep happening. Her ability to bring back stuff that used to make her feel a certain way will keep happening in the relationship. So you need to understand how to deal with it. Okay. And I'm going to give you kind of short term, but we're going to touch on long term. Okay. Because long term, what you want to focus on is this is going to bring permanence, is emotional self sufficiency, it's ownership, it's responsibility, it's consistency, and consistently doing the actions that have proven to work, like mastering your self confidence, like living a purposeful life, right? Like knowing your terms, all many things we've talked about. Okay. But for the short term, what you want to do is acknowledge where she's at. When she's pissed and she brings up stuff in the past that you've done, acknowledge where she's at. Okay. Allow her to see that you get what she's feeling and that it's okay for her to bring all that stuff up. It's okay for her to feel that way. And it's not a problem at all. Do not start to go against it or feel frustrated about it. Okay?
Yeah, for me, I fundamentally tried to simplify my life, right? And men and women are different. How you behave and process in the masculine, it doesn't have to be, nor will it be exactly the same how the feminine behaves and processes something.
Mhm.
So why waste so much time and energy trying to control that? A manual or a stick shift car, it has a clutch, has a brake, has an accelerator. An automatic car has two pedals, has the brake, has the accelerator. Both are cars, both can go from A to B, but how you drive them is fundamentally different. And I don't personally care which one you want to be. I would probably take the stick shift just because I think it's a better drive. Uh, but recognize that the other is different. Like give up the fight to make one operate the exact same as the other. Similarities exist, and so too are the fundamental differences. And
Big
only to,
differences.
to
Yeah.
just only to try and merge the two. You can respect both, you can acknowledge both, you can see the pros and cons in both, but fundamentally, they're not the same thing.
Yeah. Now, I think I need to just take a minute here and specify this. So, because a lot of men fall into this trap, they think when I say acknowledgement, what I'm saying is that they need to agree with their wife. Okay, that is not what I'm saying. When you acknowledge somebody where they are at, it doesn't mean you agree with them, right? You say the sky is blue, your wife says the sky is purple. It doesn't matter who's right or wrong. You pushing down your wife's throat that the sky is blue is not going to have her see it blue. Okay. But you acknowledging that you get that where she's standing for her right now in that moment, the sky looks purple, and that's okay. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. It doesn't mean the sky is actually purple, but you are acknowledging that your wife sees it as purple where she's at right now in that time and space. That's what acknowledgement is. Acknowledgement is not you agreeing with what she's saying. It's just simply letting her know that you get where she's at. You get what she's going through.